All right, so if you've been in the prop firm space for more than 5 minutes, you've likely heard of a platform called Prop Firm Match, which is kind of a community-driven platform where traders can favorite their favorite firms. It's really a filter system where you can find a prop firm that works for you. But here is the biggest question we need to ask ourselves. Are the prop firms that are at the top of their leaderboard actually the best firms out there? Or are they just the firms that have been around the longest that have the largest marketing budgets? So today we're going to scroll through the leaderboard and I'm going to give you my raw and honest thoughts on the very best prop firms on their leaderboard. I'm going to point out what I think each firm does well and other areas where traders should probably be a little cautious. And then towards the end, I'm going to show you why my prop firm, Lark Funding, is currently climbing this leaderboard, what we're doing differently, and make sure you stick around until the end because we're going to be doing a massive giveaway. Okay, so here we are on Prop Firm Match. If you've never used their platform, I highly recommend it, not sponsored. It's a great way to learn about prop firms, the most popular ones, which is why I'm making this video, what challenge might be worth taking for you. You can filter through different offers, bestsellers, reviews, brokers, all kinds of good stuff. But here is what I want to focus on, which is the favorite of firms. These are firms that anybody can go onto Prop Firm Match's website and can favorite. Button right here, set as favorite, and you can then see how many favorites a prop firm has received. And you can see in the number one spot, it is the Figures at over 19,000 votes, which is absolutely incredible. Now, I do want to mention that Prop Firm Match is pretty strict on what firms they list on the platform. So you can see here, there's 37 firms. I think this week they added one firm, so there used to be 36. So it's a pretty strict criteria that a firm needs to meet in order to get on their platform. So the idea is that regardless of the ranking, all of the prop firms listed should be relatively solid. So if we look at the top firms here, we have the Fivers, Funding Pips, FTMO, Funded Next, and Maven. All of these, aside from perhaps Maven, are really legacy firms. Maven has climbed a lot and grown a lot in the last year or so, and we can talk about that. But I would really say FTMO, Funded Next, and the Fivers are the most classic legacy firms. They have been around for a long time. They're a household name in the prop firm world, and there's a lot of weight that comes with their name. Everybody knows who they are. So first off, if we take a look at FTMO, 17,000 favorites, 136 reviews, which is really on the low side. You can see here the Fivers 828, 659 for Funding Pips. So FTMO is definitely on the low side in terms of reviews that they've received, but 4.6 stars. What's really incredible is that they don't ever run discounts, really, maybe for Boxing Day, and you can see all the other firms, they're running discounts with Prop Firm Match, the code match. And so you can see here when it comes to FTMO, again, when you click on any of the platforms, any of the prop firms, you could see, instruments and assets, leverage, commissions, all that sort of stuff. So FTMO, you can see here, their 100K account, the profit target is 10%. There's 10% profit target, 10% max loss, and 5% daily loss limit, which is not by any means the best in the industry. And it's 540 euros, which is totally wild. That is quite expensive. And so even with that, this shows legacy prop firm. They're incredibly reliable, incredibly professional, and that's earned them, one of the very top spots. If we go to Funding Pips is one of the compared to Funding Next, FTMO, and the Fivers, they're the youngest prop firm to be in that top 5, except for maybe Maven. Funding Pips, if FTMO climbed the leaderboard for reliability and professionalism, Funding Pips climbed the leaderboard for having low prices. So that was really what launched them into being what they are today. They're incredibly reliable, professional, great firm. However, really they had low prices compared to FTMO. So that's how they earned the number 2 spot, amongst other things. But if you name one prop firm to me, there's going to be one or two things that stands out. FTMO, professionalism, reliability. Funding Pips, low prices. Okay. Number 4, Funded Next. Funded Next is really known for their scaling program and also that 24-hour payout guarantee. I believe it's 24 hours, and if you don't receive your payout within that time frame, you will receive an extra $1,000. Yeah, you can see here on their website, guaranteed reward. So if you don't get paid in 24 hours, they'll pay you an extra $1,000. The average disbursement time is 5 hours, so absolutely incredible. And if we go back to the top 5, we can see Maven here. Maven has grown a lot in the last year or so, and again, it's really driven by those low prices. So if FTMO has the highest price of 540 odd euros for a 100K challenge, if we come over here and we look at their challenges, and if we look at size, we want to filter the 100K with their current promo, and we want a 2-step so it's an accurate comparison. It is $422 compared to 540 euros. So it is much, it's a lower price. You see the profit target is lower as well. And honestly, I have seen the Maven 100K challenges well below $422 in the past, right? It's typically priced $440. So this is a very, very small discount. They might be running a larger one. It's only 4% off. Okay, so ultimately, all of these prop firms here, I have to give credit where credit is due. There is a reason that they are in the top 10. Now, I'm not saying that all of these prop firms are perfect. Many of the prop firms, the majority in the top 10, I have never used myself, where they have hundreds of reviews, thousands and thousands of favorites. So if you're interested in one of these firms, by all means, do your own research. But really, hats off to them, because many of these firms have paved the way. If you look at those that have been around for a long time, FTMO, the Fivers, they have really paved the way for this community and for other prop firms to have an opportunity in this industry to make a name for themselves. And that's why I'm making this video, because while the legacy prop firms are in the top 10, what's going on lower down the leaderboard, I think, is what's most interesting. When we scroll down the leaderboard, we start to see the younger, potentially more innovative and hungrier prop firms. And that's when we get to my prop firm, Lark Funding, which we are not a young firm. We've been around for over 3 years now, but we are currently ranked 28th out of 37 prop firms. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are near the bottom, but just a few days ago, prior to making this video, we were ranked 33rd out of 37. And so we've climbed 5 spots in just a handful of days. You can see here we have 23 reviews, 4.3 stars, and 611 favorites. Now the question is, being so far down the leaderboard, does that mean we are a worse prop firm than those that are ranked higher? And the answer to that, I believe, is no. You see, many of the prop firms in the top 10 and even the top 20 have all kinds of rules that I have been very outspoken about on this channel that I don't agree in. Those rules are consistency rules, news restrictions, and even minimum trading days. Minimum trading days is not a deal breaker, but for traders, it can be frustrating. But for me, it's really the news restrictions and the consistency rules. These are rules that make it so much more difficult for traders. If the industry had a vibe in 2024, it was, let's make rules so easy for traders and challenges so cheap. That's the direction that the industry was moving in. But the problem with that is it wasn't sustainable. We saw that in 2024. Now, if there's a vibe in 2025, it's let's make things as difficult as possible for traders, but keep things cheap. And this means, yes, traders can sign up for an affordable challenge, but the challenge is so hard because of all of these restrictions that traders don't stand a single chance. And so at Lark Funding, I have decided, and the entire team at Lark Funding has decided, we don't agree with the direction that the industry is going in. We want to do something different. And that is why I'm so adamant on not having these restrictions. And I truly believe, even though we are currently ranked 28th on Prop for Match, we have the easiest rules and the most flexible rules in the industry for traders. And so the question is, how are we going to change this? How are we going to send a message to legacy prop firms that rules should be easier for traders, not harder? Of course, things still need to be sustainable. I know that very well, having been running this prop firm for over 3 years now. Things still need to be sustainable, but there needs to be a balance between what traders receive and what prop firms have on their end. And so how are we going to send a message to these legacy prop firms that things should be easier? We are living proof that things can be easier since we've been in business for 3 years. Well, the answer to that is what we are calling the climb. We want to show these prop firms that an underdog prop firm that has easier rules can get into the top 10 on Prop Firm Match. And so it's been only a few days since we've started the climb, but we've already climbed 5 spots. And how it works is really, really simple. All you have to do is you have to go onto Prop for Match. You have to set Lark Funding as a favorite. You vote for us. When you set us as a favorite, you are voting and showing the entire industry that you believe in easier rules, no hidden rules, and none of these really annoying and vague restrictions. Okay, so when you favorite us, that will help us climb to the next spot. So the first few climbs that we had from 33 to 32 to 31, those were pretty easy because the votes were close. But this is our hardest one yet. You can see we're at 611 votes as of this recording. We have about 200 votes to go. Then it'll be a little bit easier, but then to climb to 24th, we're going to need several hundred votes. But here's the thing. If you take the 2 minutes that are required to vote for us, we want to give back to the community as well. And so for every spot that we climb, we're going to be giving away $50,000 worth of challenge accounts. We've already given away over $250,000 worth of accounts in our Discord, and it's a really fun way that you can vote. You can show the industry what you want, and you can also earn a challenge account as a result. So if you want a chance to win an account, all you have to do is favorite us, join our Discord. The link is down below. Drop a screenshot of you voting for us, and you'll be entered to win a giveaway account, and you'll join what we are calling the climb. Our goal is to get into the top 10 and show legacy prop firms that traders deserve better. At the end of the day, rankings are fantastic, but you do need to read the fine print of all of these firms, regardless of where they are ranked. Just because you're ranked number 1 doesn't necessarily mean you are the best. Favorite us on Prop for a Match. Have your voice be heard. All of the links are down below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. This is The Climb. Until then, peace.